Hi everyone. So today we're going to be looking at Microsoft Azure and the deployment of Veeam Backup and Replication from the marketplace, but using an automated approach to that. One of the last videos we did was we walked through the deployment from the marketplace and then ran through the configuration of that, and then we did some direct restore to Microsoft Azure from the capacity tier, which in turn was using the Microsoft Blob storage capacity tier that we have, where we store our backup files. So kind of alluding to the possibility of using this as a disaster recovery type scenario. Most commonly it's for test and dev and migrations, but there's a use case there providing that the SLAs allow you to get that data up and running in a different format, in a different public cloud, if you will. So just to quickly show you the Azure portal that I have. Now, we can ignore this CAID VBR and all of the resources that go along with this resource group called VBR. This is my standard VBR server that I use for a lot of my other testing and other demos. So this is irrelevant. We're starting from a fresh. There is nothing. I've not deployed anything from the marketplace at all. So what this script allows us to do is really allows us to set the marketplace, and I've gone through this in quite some detail in a blog as well. So what this is going to allow us to do, in fact, let's kick things off. So first of all, I've made it so that there is no credentials part of this. So what we need to do is we need to authenticate into. So I've got the Azure PowerShell module installed prior to this video. But in turn, now I just need to authenticate, find my phone. Okay, so that's authenticated. Now this is going to run through the rest of that script, and it's going to start building out some of those resources. So let's quickly just recap on what this script is actually doing. In fact, let's just do this as well while we're at it. So let's create a username called Veeam, and let's use that password that I already had cached. Hopefully it's the same one. Okay, that's going to run through. So let's just quickly go through what this is. So we're going to connect to the Azure account. You saw that come up, and then we authenticated. Then we're going to set some variables about where we want it to be, what the publisher is, so Veeam, what is the offering, because as you might have seen in other videos, there's quite a lot of Veeam offerings now. So all of them, and if you'd like to see other ways of being able to automate those marketplace images, then I can absolutely dive into this a little bit more. So we've given it the offer name, the SKU name, the version. Now the version, because we've had VBR up in Azure since version 9.5, there's actually various different versions that you can go and find and use there. So resource group, I want to create a completely brand new resource group called CAID testing VBR, and we'll go back into the portal and we'll see that. What do we want to call it? I want to call it CAID VBR. What's the VM size? Now that's important because that image needs to be of a certain size, so you need to go and make sure that you're able to do that. But this is the lowest VM size that we can use. Then some storage SKUs that I was just playing with as to where we want to store that. Then we want to go and get that image, and then if you haven't done so before, you need to agree to the terms that you would normally obviously do as you go through the marketplace. So we can do that here as well through Azure PowerShell. And then we want to start to create the parts to start pushing that image together. So first of all, you saw me put in a username of Veeam and a password in there. This is so that I can actually access that machine. Then we want to create a brand new resource group called what we defined in our variables. We want to create a new subnet. We want to create a virtual network, a public IP. Now some of these will be already in your Azure account, I imagine, if you're using Azure. And obviously from that point of view, you can make and modify this so that it suits your environment. This will not overwrite anything that you haven't already declared as part of that installation or that configuration. And then we want to go through and actually create, based on that marketplace image, we want to go and create that based on the variables that we've already set. So these triggers here allow us to do that, and then we go and create the actual virtual machine. Then what we want to do within that is this. What are the prerequisites to use Veeam Backup Replication up in Azure, or let's call it a dependency on the Azure PowerShell to be installed on the VBR server. Now I've asked if we can have that installed as part of the image, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to be deploying VBR for this exact use case. You're going to want to add an Azure compute account, which requires the Azure PowerShell module, and you are going to want to use that for direct restore to Azure. But in the meantime, this little module here will go and install that from a public GitHub page. So that will go and install that simple Azure PowerShell installer. That then just reboots that system for cleanliness, and then what we should then see is once that is finished, it will write the host and we'll understand what that IP address is, and then it will start a remote desktop into that IP address. So if we jump back down into here, so this is how we saw it at the very beginning. If we go refresh now, good stuff, something's happened. And if we sort by this, because I've used probably a confusing naming set here, but all of these are new. We've just created them, or we're creating them as part of our automated deployment. So what we should now start to see, and then what we're going to do is, so this will get the actual Windows 2019 machine with Veeam Backup Replication version 10A installed and all up and running, give us a public IP address that we've defined. We're allowing firewall rules through so that we can RDP into that. And what we should see is, once this has all gone through the motion and it's started to boot up, we should then see the remote desktop console. Okay, so we should be good to go on the RDP connection to that Azure VM now. So let's just put in our credentials that we put into that running script. And at that point, or at this point here, we've automated the deployment of a Windows 2019 box with Veeam Backup Replication version 10A already pre-installed, already well, basically ready for you to then drop your configuration. Now, in another video, I'm going to drop this configuration video and I'm going to walk through this, or sorry, this configuration script. I'm going to drop it here because at this point, so that bit's relatively easy. Between 5 and 8 minutes, we've got this server up and running. We've automated that. We could put that script literally anywhere and have that machine up and running. And once we've connected here, we're then going to see a fresh community edition. And it's important to note the community edition is all we need, because we're not actually going to be backing up anything from or using this VBR instance. We're only going to be restoring from it. So, and what that script is, and I'll get to that in the next couple of videos, is this is an automated way of being able to run the configuration. So this will, and I wrote, this was in part 2 of the blog that I'll link down in the description below. But what this does, or what that script does, is it will allow you to add an Azure compute account. It will add your storage account, so taking all of your credentials and everything to add in the buckets that you're looking to add. It will also define some variables around what backups do you want to actually restore. So which virtual machines or physical machines would you like to then restore into Azure, and it will build up that variable list. And then with that, it will begin that direct restore to Microsoft Azure. Now, my whole point to this is that we want that one script that allows you to do all of this, but whilst it is maintained in a private repo. So with that, let us know in the comments below if you want to see more. Any questions, also let me know. Cheers, guys.